Coming up on this edition of Speed Chronicles, is Bowman Gray Stadium really the Madhouse?
SIG Media presents
Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis.
Powered by Rev TV.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this edition of Speed Chronicles. We're back again for the new season. We're easing into the racing season, I guess, is the way to look at it. We got IMSA underway a little while ago. We had the Rolex, had the Roar before the 24, and now we got NASCAR back going with us again. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget, you can find us on all the social media channels. Choose the one that you like, whether it be Blue Sky, whether it's X, whether it's Instagram. We're pretty much on all of them. So thanks for joining us. And so let's talk a little bit about the racing that we did see at Bowman Gray Stadium. It's the Clash. It kicks off the NASCAR season. For the last few years, it was at the Coliseum in LA. But this year, NASCAR did something different. They took it back to the grassroots, took it back to the roots of racing. And yes, at Bowman Gray Stadium. That's what we got. Very different in North Carolina than it was in Los Angeles. Long talked about. This was an idea. Is it something that we want to do? This is where we have weekly racing. We're returning to our roots. And what would we see at Bowman Gray Stadium? If you go there for the regular weekly show, then you're just as likely to see a fight as you are a race. It's almost like going to a hockey game, right? To use the old cliche? No, but that's a regular occurrence at Bowman Gray. That tempers get heated, the track is tight, and guys get out of their car and fight. Yeah, okay, all right. Didn't have anybody square off and throw down in the infield at the Clash. And I was really concerned about how this event would go. I was kind of concerned about what it would look like, what it's going to feel like. Is it going to be a good event? Is it going to make for good racing? I was really worried about it. Is it going to be a crash festival? Is anyone going to be able to make a pass? And how's it going to be with a much smaller crowd than we have had at previous clashes, like the LA Coliseum, even if it's only half full? I mean, it's like 40 or 50 or 60,000 people. 17,000 fans at Bowman Gray Stadium. That's the capacity. It's very different. And again, it was a different type of event that NASCAR was going for, and I get that. It's an all-star event, and it's a different thing. The format is good. I like that you have a little practice. You have some heat races to get a spot to get into the race, and then you have a last chance qualifier as well to have another opportunity to get into the race. Not everybody gets in. Again, that's a short track approach and mentality, because that's the regular show that you'll see on a Friday or Saturday night at a local short track. The racing, it can get a little rough at times on these short tracks. It's only a quarter of a mile, and that's what we're going to see. Big, heavy horsepower cars. How are they going to react at that quarter mile? There was a lot of bumping. There was a little grinding. There was a little frustration in the heat races and in through the last chance qualifier and the main event. But overall, it was a success. We did see cars that were able to maneuver and pass. It's become the accepted norm that you use the bumper to move people out of the way. And that's what you're going to get at a short track, especially with Cup cars, because of the way they are built, heavy and horsepower heavy. So you have to expect to see that. Did it get out of hand? No. Was it a crash fest? No. There were a couple times where it got a little, they got a lap in. Maybe we'll get 2 laps in next time before somebody spins or bumps the wall and we have to throw the caution. But overall, I think the event was pretty good. Crowd there was enthusiastic. Full house, 17,000 people, which is good. That's about all you're going to get. So overall, it was a success. I think the one big notable incident, of course, was Ty Gibbs, who got a little agitated and a little frustrated. As was said, he wasn't the only one, but he demonstrated it the most by trying to run his car over Justin Haley's car after getting bumped and turned around. Again, that's what happens at Bowman Gray, so if you're okay with that, then you're fine. I will say that Cup Series director Brad Moran did have some thoughts earlier this week about that maneuver from Ty Gibbs. Said that he and Ty Gibbs are going to have a little sit-down chat before activity really gets going at Daytona, and they're just going to be clear on what is and what isn't acceptable. And good for Brad for saying so. And I think if Ty Gibbs is smart about his conversation with Brad, what he will do is nod and smile and look him in the eye and listen to every word that he says and say, yes, sir. Thank you very much. I apologize. I let my emotions get the better of me. It won't happen again. and then he'll walk out of the NASCAR trailer, and that'll be the end of it. But if he doesn't, then there's going to be a problem, because Brad's a no-nonsense guy. He'll tell you what he thinks, tell you how he feels, and he'll make it clear what is and what isn't acceptable. That's kind of the way NASCAR has handled things in the past, though I think that's a very professional approach. So Ty Gibbs needs to be a little more professional in his approach there. But I was worried about this event, how it was going to look, how it was going to play out before it actually took place. I almost thought of it as kind of like Monaco with Formula One cars. Again, those cars are far too big, far too powerful, and far too sophisticated for that circuit that has been on the calendar since the start of time. It didn't really look that way, though. There were times that you saw cars that were side by side. You saw brief instances of 3 cars side by side. Obviously, that can't continue around the whole track, but you could see drivers maneuver. You could see them getting a little frustrated. You could see a little bumping and pushing and shoving, and that's okay. That's what happens at every stock car track, so we can deal with that. Is this going to continue in the future? I don't know, and I don't think NASCAR knows yet. I think they're going to have to add up all that took place and decide whether or not this is right to continue at Bowman Gray Stadium another year or 2. I don't know that it'll be longer than that, because you have to think about moving this event around, as NASCAR has done to try to, again, grow the sport. Is it the right event? I can see why it wound up at Bowman Gray Stadium if you're going to do this grassroots initiative, because NASCAR's taken over the operation of Bowman Gray. They put an awful lot of money into it. That's why there were safer barriers put up. There's a whole lot of other infrastructure that has gone in as well. Some of the teams said that they liked the way that they did tech, in that they teched them at Charlotte, loaded them into the haulers, and then trucked them over to Bowman Gray Stadium, because the infrastructures of the facilities are so much smaller. There's just not enough room to do things the way they do at a normal Cup event. So will it be this way moving forward? I don't know. I don't know if that's feasible or not. Will they move it around to other short tracks? Possibly. Will they move it around? Some suggested that they should move it internationally. The topic of Brazil has come up. Well, that's a real expensive proposition. Unless somebody's going to pay for it, I don't know that that's going to be in the immediate plans. But the logistics of the facility make it a challenge. Having Charlotte not that far away, you could do tech there, get the cars over. It's not bad, but there's no pit road, so that limits what you can do to the cars inside and out. Temperatures were kind of cool. It was single digits Celsius, like 40s Fahrenheit. So again, not ideal, but I guess it was bearable for once, maybe twice. Will it be successful a third time? I don't know. They left LA after 3 years. Maybe they stayed a year too long. We'll see. A little feedback from the teams, a little feedback from the series, and see what their suggestions are to improve it if they want to go back next year. But all in all, not bad. It was a pretty good event, pretty solid. Racing was good. It was a success. Was it a slam dunk that it comes back? No, not necessarily. But let's see what happens going forward. Again, cool temperatures make it kind of a challenge. So I don't know if that's really going to be something that we do or not. But we're almost ready to get the season going, because the NASCAR teams and ARCA teams are headed to Daytona soon, which is great. IMSA will be back competing again in March. There's some announcements that are coming out about sports car racing and IMSA and WEC and others. NASCAR Canada is working away to get set for their season. IndyCar is only a couple of weeks away. They'll be getting going in Florida as well at St. Petersburg. Looking forward to that. Going to be an exciting event, and can't wait to get down there to enjoy that warm temperatures as well in St. Petersburg. So thanks for checking out this edition of Speed Chronicles. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Give it a follow on social media as well, whether it's X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. We're on all of them, so do that. We'll check you out again for another edition of Speed Chronicles soon.